Hello my friends, this is Dr. Mandell. Today I want to share something extremely powerful with you, something that can change the way you look at food, muscle growth, and healthy aging. We often hear about sardines being one of the best sources of protein and omega-3, and yes, sardines are wonderful for your health. But I want you to forget about sardines for just a moment, because there is another food that is just as powerful, if not more powerful, when it comes to building muscle and fighting off sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle that affects millions of people after 50, 60, and beyond. This food is lentils. When it comes to building muscle, protecting your health, and preventing the devastating effects of aging on the body, most people immediately think of animal-based proteins. They'll say, "Doctor, I eat chicken, I eat beef, I eat fish, I'm getting enough protein." And yes, those foods certainly do provide protein, but I want you to understand something very important. You don't need to rely only on animal foods to get strong, to build muscle, and to maintain your vitality. There is one food that's been around for thousands of years, eaten in every corner of the world, and often overlooked in the Western diet. That food is lentils. Now you might think, lentils, those little beans, how can that possibly compare to fish or meat? But the truth is, lentils are one of the most nutrient-dense, muscle-building superfoods you can put into your body. Here's why lentils deserve your attention. First, they are a powerhouse of protein. 1 cup of cooked lentils contains around 18 grams of protein. That's significant, and it's more than enough to make a big difference in your daily nutrition. And the protein from lentils is very special. It contains essential amino acids that your body cannot produce on its own. These amino acids are the building blocks of muscle. Without them, your muscles can't repair, they can't grow, and they can't stay strong as you age. Now let's talk about something called lysine. Most people don't realize that lysine is one of the most important amino acids for muscle repair, tissue growth, and recovery. Animal products provide lysine, yes, but lentils are one of the richest plant-based sources of lysine you can find. This means that when you eat lentils, you're giving your muscles exactly what they need to rebuild after exercise or physical activity. For older adults who are fighting off sarcopenia, this natural muscle loss that begins after age 50, lysine becomes even more important. It's like fuel for your muscle tissue, helping you stay strong, balanced, and independent. Another reason lentils stand out as a superfood is their digestibility. When you eat a steak or a piece of chicken, your body has to work very hard to break it down, and sometimes, particularly as we get older, our digestive system doesn't function as efficiently as it once did. That means we don't always absorb all the nutrients we think we're getting. Lentils, on the other hand, are much easier to digest, and they deliver protein in a form that your body can actually use more efficiently. This makes them an incredible choice for seniors who may have digestive sensitivities but still want to maintain strong, healthy muscles. And I don't want to stop at just protein, because lentils are far more than that. They contain iron, which helps carry oxygen to your muscles, giving you the endurance and energy to move through your day. They contain magnesium and potassium, which improve circulation, relax your blood vessels, and keep your muscles contracting properly. If you've ever had leg cramps or muscle weakness, there's a good chance you were lacking these very minerals. Lentils provide them in abundance. Let's also look at the bigger picture of health. Unlike animal proteins, lentils are cholesterol-free. They don't contain the saturated fats that can clog your arteries and contribute to heart disease. Instead, they come packaged with fiber, and that fiber not only supports digestion, but it also helps lower cholesterol, stabilize blood sugar, and feed the good bacteria in your gut. When your gut is healthy, your immune system is stronger, your inflammation is lower, and your body recovers faster. That's a true superfood benefit. Now let's think about the practical side of this. Sardines are wonderful, but not everyone enjoys the taste or the smell, and high-quality fish can be expensive or hard to find. Lentils, on the other hand, are affordable, accessible, and versatile. You can buy a bag of lentils for just a few dollars, and it will last you for many meals. You can cook them into soups, stews, curries, or toss them into a salad. They adapt to the flavors of whatever you're preparing, making them an easy addition to any lifestyle. Friends, we cannot ignore the fact that sarcopenia is stealing independence from millions of people every year. It starts quietly. You feel weaker, you lose energy, you struggle to lift things you once could, and before you know it, you're facing falls, injuries, and dependency on others. But it doesn't have to be this way. You have the power to slow it down, to stop it, and even to reverse it, and food is one of your most powerful tools. By choosing lentils, you're choosing a food that builds your body rather than breaks it down. You're choosing a food that supports your heart, your muscles, your brain, and your longevity. This is not just about eating for today. It's about eating to preserve your quality of life for years to come. I know some of you may be thinking, but Dr. Mandell, can lentils really make that big of a difference? My answer is absolutely yes. When you consistently provide your body with the nutrients it needs, when you fuel your muscles with protein, amino acids, and minerals from foods like lentils, you give yourself a fighting chance against aging, and the results don't take years to see. You'll notice more energy, more strength, and more stability within weeks of making the change. So I encourage you, open your mind, open your kitchen, and give lentils a place on your plate. Forget sardines for a moment and realize that these humble little legumes can be a cornerstone of your muscle-building, age-defying strategy. Your body deserves it. Your future self will thank you. When we talk about health, strength, and vitality, protein is always at the center of the conversation. Protein is not just for bodybuilders or athletes. Protein is life. It is the very substance that makes up our muscles, our skin, our bones, our enzymes, our hormones, and even the antibodies that protect us from sickness. Without enough protein, your body begins to break down. Muscles shrink, bones weaken, energy plummets, and the aging process accelerates. This is why getting the right protein in the right form becomes so critical, especially as we get older. Now, most people are conditioned to think of protein only in terms of animal products. They'll say, I need steak, I need chicken, I need eggs. And while these foods do contain protein, they also come with baggage, saturated fats, cholesterol, and in some cases, toxins from processing or farming. But what if I told you there's a food that delivers high-quality protein without all the negatives? A food that not only gives you the amino acids you need, but also floods your body with vitamins, minerals, and healing compounds. That food, my friends, is lentils. Lentils are a gift from nature. They may look small, but inside each of those little seeds is a treasure chest of nutrition. 1 cup of cooked lentils provides about 18 grams of protein, and that protein is rich in the essential amino acids your body cannot make on its own. Think about that. Essential amino acids mean survival. They are essential for a reason. Your body must have them to repair tissues, to build new muscle fibers, to keep your enzymes functioning properly, and to maintain balance in your entire system. Without them, your body starts robbing itself, pulling amino acids from your muscle tissue. And that is how sarcopenia, the muscle loss of aging, begins to destroy lives. What makes lentils even more powerful is the fact that their protein doesn't come alone. Unlike many animal-based proteins that deliver protein with heavy fats or little fiber, lentils deliver protein with a team of nutrients that work together to keep your body thriving. Let's start with iron. Iron carries oxygen through your bloodstream. Without iron, your muscles suffocate. You feel tired, weak, and unable to move with energy. Lentils provide a healthy amount of iron, helping your red blood cells do their job, feeding oxygen to every cell in your body so your muscles can contract, expand, and repair. Then we have magnesium. Magnesium is one of the most overlooked minerals in the modern diet, yet it is involved in more than 300 biochemical reactions in your body. It relaxes your muscles, calms your nerves, improves your sleep, and allows energy to be produced efficiently in your cells. Without enough magnesium, your muscles cramp, your energy drops, and your stress rises. Lentils are a natural source of magnesium, meaning when you eat them, you're giving your body the very mineral that unlocks calm strength. Let's not forget potassium. Potassium balances sodium in your body, regulates your heartbeat, and keeps your muscles contracting properly. Have you ever felt your legs tremble or cramp suddenly? That's often a lack of potassium. And here's the beautiful thing. Lentils provide potassium in the perfect balance without the extra sodium that damages your blood pressure. And then there's fiber. You might think, what does fiber have to do with protein and muscle? More than you realize. Fiber slows down digestion, meaning your body absorbs protein and nutrients steadily over time. This gives you a longer lasting energy release, stabilizing your blood sugar and preventing those crashes that make you feel exhausted and hungry. And when your blood sugar is stable, your body is far more efficient at building muscle and burning fat. Fiber also feeds your gut bacteria. And remember, your gut health is directly tied to your immune system, your inflammation levels, and your ability to recover from exercise or illness. So when we talk about lentils being high in protein, we're not just talking about grams on a nutrition label. We're talking about a protein that comes in a complete package with iron to oxygenate, magnesium to relax, potassium to balance, and fiber to regulate. It's a protein that works synergistically with every system in your body. Now let's think about aging. After 50, our bodies begin to lose muscle at a rate of about 1 to 2% each year. After 60, that loss accelerates. By the time people hit their 70s or 80s, many struggle with weakness, frailty, and loss of independence. This is not just about aesthetics. It's about whether you can climb stairs, carry groceries, play with your grandchildren, or even get up out of a chair without help. And so much of this comes down to how much protein you are consuming and how efficiently your body can use that protein. When you choose lentils, you are making it easy for your body to get what it needs. You're giving your muscles the raw materials to stay firm, strong, and functional. You're feeding your blood vessels, your nerves, your heart, and your brain. And you're doing it with a food that doesn't harm your arteries, doesn't raise your cholesterol, and doesn't inflame your joints. And here's something else beautiful about lentils. They are naturally low in calories, but high in satiety. This means you can eat a good portion, feel full and satisfied, and still maintain a healthy weight. Weight control is essential as we age because carrying excess body fat accelerates inflammation and makes sarcopenia worse. So lentils help you manage weight while nourishing every cell of your body. Think about it. One simple food, affordable, available almost anywhere, versatile enough to cook in dozens of ways, and powerful enough to strengthen your muscles, protect your heart, and balance your metabolism. That's the nutrient profile of lentils. That's the reason I call them a true superfood. So don't underestimate these little legumes. Each time you eat lentils, you're not just eating for today, you're investing in your future strength, your independence, and your quality of life. Remember, every bite of food you put into your mouth is a message to your body. When you eat lentils, that message is build strength, repair, energize, protect, and thrive. One of the greatest challenges that every human being faces as we age is something called sarcopenia. Now, I want you to understand this word clearly because it's not just a medical term, it's a reality that affects every single person past the age of 50. Sarcopenia simply means the loss of muscle mass and muscle strength as we grow older. And let me tell you, this is not just about looking strong or toned. This is about survival. This is about whether you'll be able to walk, climb stairs, carry groceries, or even get out of bed independently as the years go by. The truth is that after the age of 30, we begin to lose muscle slowly. But after the age of 50, that process accelerates. Most people don't notice it at first. They just feel a little weaker, a little slower. Maybe they tire more easily. But little by little, that muscle loss adds up. By the time many people reach their 70s and 80s, they've lost so much muscle that they are frail, unsteady, and at a high risk of falls and fractures. And we know what happens then. One fall, one broken hip, and life changes forever. That's the devastating power of sarcopenia. But here's the good news. Sarcopenia is not a death sentence. It's not something you have to accept as inevitable. Yes, it is part of aging, but you have far more control than you realize. Your body has an incredible ability to adapt, to heal, and to rebuild no matter how old you are. And the two most powerful weapons you have against sarcopenia are nutrition and movement. Let's talk about nutrition first. Every time you eat, you are sending a message to your muscles. You are either telling them to grow stronger or you are allowing them to break down. Protein is the language your muscles understand. Without enough protein, your muscles simply cannot rebuild. They shrink, they weaken, they fade away. That's why adding high-quality protein sources like lentils becomes so critical as we age. Lentils deliver those essential amino acids your muscles are starving for, along with minerals like magnesium, potassium, and iron that support circulation, nerve function, and energy. When you eat lentils consistently, you are giving your muscles the raw material they need to fight back against sarcopenia. But nutrition alone is not enough. The second weapon is movement. Your muscles are designed to work. If you don't use them, you lose them. Simple resistance exercises, things like bodyweight squats, push-ups against the wall, lifting light weights, or even resistance bands send a powerful signal to your body. That signal says, we need these muscles, don't break them down, build them up. And when you combine movement with protein from foods like lentils, you create the perfect recipe for muscle preservation and growth. Now let's step back and see the bigger picture. Why is fighting sarcopenia so important? Because muscle is not just about strength. Muscle is your body's engine. It is the tissue that burns calories, that regulates your metabolism, that supports your joints, and that protects your bones. Without muscle, your bones become fragile, your joints become unstable, and your metabolism slows to a crawl. This is why so many older adults not only lose strength, but also gain fat, develop diabetes, and suffer from cardiovascular disease. The loss of muscle sets off a chain reaction that affects every system in the body. And this is why I get so passionate about this topic, because too many people are suffering unnecessarily. Too many people are losing their independence, not because of disease, but because of preventable muscle loss. Imagine being in your 70s or 80s and still being able to walk with confidence, to bend down and pick up your grandchild, to travel, to enjoy your hobbies. That is possible if you make the decision now to protect and rebuild your muscles. I want you to picture this clearly. Every time you sit in a chair, you are practicing a squat. Every time you push open a door, you are practicing a push-up. Every time you carry groceries, you are strengthening your grip in your arms. These small, everyday movements are opportunities to fight sarcopenia, and when you fuel those movements with nutrient-dense, protein-rich foods like lentils, you are stacking the deck in your favor. Now, some of you may be thinking, Dr. Mandell, I'm already too old, it's too late for me. Well, let me stop you right there. It is never too late. Research shows that even people in their 80s and 90s can build muscle and regain strength when they start resistance training and increase their protein intake. Your muscles are incredibly resilient. They're waiting for you to give them the signal to grow, and that signal comes from movement and protein. I cannot stress this enough. Sarcopenia is one of the silent killers of aging. It robs people of their independence, it leads to falls, fractures, and hospitalizations, and it often triggers a downward spiral from which many never recover. But you have the power to fight it. You don't need expensive supplements, you don't need fancy equipment, and you don't need to spend hours in a gym. What you need is commitment to move your body every day, to challenge your muscles regularly, and to nourish them with foods that heal and strengthen rather than foods that inflame and weaken. Lentils may look humble, but they are one of the greatest allies you can have in this battle. They are affordable, accessible, and versatile. You can prepare them in dozens of delicious ways, and each time you eat them, you are investing in your strength, your balance, and your independence. So I want you to remember this message. Sarcopenia is real, but it is not inevitable. You have the tools, you have the power. Every meal you eat, every step you take, every time you choose to move, rather than sit, you are either fighting sarcopenia or feeding it. Make the choice to fight. Make the choice to stay strong. Make the choice to live with energy and independence. Your muscles are the foundation of your health. Protect them, build them, and they will carry you with strength and confidence through every season of life. One of the biggest challenges I hear from people all the time is this: Dr. Mandell, eating healthy is expensive. It takes too much time. It's too complicated. I can't afford all those fancy superfoods. And I understand that frustration. The food industry has convinced many of us that in order to be healthy, we need expensive powders, exotic fruits shipped from across the world, or overpriced protein shakes. But the truth is, your body doesn't care how fancy the food looks or how much it costs. Your body cares about nutrients, real natural nutrients, and that's exactly why lentils are so special. Lentils are one of the most affordable, accessible, and versatile superfoods on the planet. They don't need to be imported from thousands of miles away. They don't come with a high price tag. They are available in almost every grocery store in every country, and they've been feeding civilizations for thousands of years. You can buy a bag of dried lentils for just a few dollars, and that bag will provide enough protein-rich meals for an entire family. Compare that to the cost of a single steak, a package of chicken, or a few cans of sardines. There's simply no contest. But affordability is just the beginning, because not only are lentils inexpensive, they are also incredibly versatile. You can use them in so many different ways that you never have to get bored. They can be the star of a meal or the quiet supporter, blending into soups, salads, and stews. You can cook them soft and creamy for a comforting dish, or keep them firm and chewy for texture in a salad. They absorb flavors beautifully, so whether you season them with herbs, spices, or vegetables, they adapt. They are like a blank canvas that you can transform into hundreds of delicious, nourishing meals. Think about this. How often do people struggle to stick with a healthy diet because it feels restrictive or bland? That's one of the reasons so many diets fail. But lentils give you options. You can make a hearty lentil soup on a cold evening, a refreshing lentil salad in the summertime, a spicy lentil curry when you're craving bold flavor, or even lentil patties as a protein alternative to meat. They fit into any cuisine: Italian, Indian, Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, Latin American. You can eat them every day and still feel like you're enjoying something new and exciting. And here's another huge advantage. Lentils are convenient. They cook faster than most beans. You don't always need to soak them. And within 20-30 minutes, you can have a pot of lentils ready to go. For people who are busy, for seniors who don't want to spend hours in the kitchen, or for families on the go, this is a lifesaver. You don't need complicated recipes. Just simmer lentils in water or broth, add a few vegetables or spices, and you have a complete nutrient-dense meal. Now let's tie this back to the bigger picture: muscle health and sarcopenia. One of the excuses people give for not eating enough protein is cost. They'll say meat is too expensive, fish is too pricey, protein powders are out of my budget, and sadly, because of this, many people simply don't get enough protein in their diet. Over time, that lack of protein contributes directly to muscle loss, weakness, and frailty, but with lentils, there are no excuses. For just pennies per serving, you can fuel your body with protein, fiber, and minerals that fight sarcopenia, protect your bones, and keep you energized. Another thing I love about lentils is their long shelf life. You can store dried lentils in your pantry for months, even years, without them spoiling. That means you always have a backup supply of healthy food at home. How many times do people run out of fresh food, feel too tired to go shopping, and end up eating fast food or processed junk instead? With lentils, that problem is solved. They're always ready when you need them. And when you cook a large batch, you can refrigerate or freeze leftovers and enjoy them throughout the week. That's saving money, saving time, and protecting your health all at once. And let's not forget about how lentils fit into family life. One of the greatest gifts you can give your children and grandchildren is the habit of eating real, wholesome foods. When you prepare lentil dishes at home, you're teaching them that healthy eating doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. You're showing them that powerful nutrition can come from simple foods, foods that are accessible to everyone. This is how you build generational health, by passing down habits that sustain and protect. Now I want you to really appreciate how unique this is. In a world where so many people are struggling financially, where healthcare costs are skyrocketing, where preventable diseases are draining families emotionally and economically, lentils stand out as a solution. They don't just nourish your muscles, they nourish your wallet. They don't just keep you strong, they keep you independent by reducing your risk of chronic illness. They are a true example of how nature gives us exactly what we need in the simplest and most affordable form. You see, when I talk about lentils, I'm not just talking about food, I'm talking about freedom. Freedom from the fear that you can't afford to eat healthy. Freedom from the lie that only expensive supplements or exotic foods will save your health. Freedom from the limitations that aging tries to place on your body. Lentils are part of the solution. They give you the nutrients to fight sarcopenia, the fuel to move your body, the energy to stay active, and the independence to keep living life on your terms. So next time you walk through the grocery store, don't overlook that humble bag of lentils sitting quietly on the shelf. Recognize it for what it truly is. A muscle-building, age-defying superfood that costs less than a cup of coffee. Bring it home, cook it with love, and feed your body what it deserves. Remember, staying healthy doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be expensive. It just requires consistency and smart choices. Lentils are one of the smartest choices you can make. They are affordable, versatile, convenient, and powerful. And when you combine them with regular movement and a positive mindset, you create a foundation of health that can carry you strong and independent into your later years. When it comes to health, people often want quick fixes. They'll ask me, Dr. Mandell, what pill can I take? What supplement will solve my problem? What diet will give me results fast? And my answer is always the same. Health is not about quick fixes. Health is about integration. It's about how the small things you do every single day add up to the big picture of your life. The truth is, no single food, no single exercise, no single habit will make you healthy on its own. But when you combine them together, when you integrate healthy foods like lentils into your meals and simple exercises into your daily routine, you create a lifestyle that builds strength, resilience, and longevity. Let's talk about this practically. Lentils are powerful, yes. They provide protein, amino acids, minerals, and fiber. They give your muscles the building blocks they need to fight sarcopenia and stay strong. But food works best when paired with movement. Think of it this way. When you eat lentils, you're filling your body with high-quality fuel. But if that fuel just sits there without being used, it doesn't reach its full potential. Movement is what turns that fuel into strength. Movement is what tells your body we need these muscles. Keep them strong, repair them, grow them. Without movement, even the best nutrition won't give you the results you deserve. And here's the good news. Movement doesn't have to mean hours in the gym. It doesn't have to mean lifting heavy weights or running marathons. It means using your body in simple, practical ways every day. Do body weight squats while holding onto a chair. Practice push-ups against the wall. Use light dumbbells or resistance bands. Walk with purpose. Climb stairs instead of taking the elevator. These simple actions, repeated daily, send powerful signals to your body. And when you combine them with protein-rich foods like lentils, you create the perfect environment for muscle preservation and growth. Let me share something important about exercise. Many people think exercise is just about burning calories, but that's not true. Exercise is communication. Every time you use your muscles, you're communicating with your body at the cellular level. You're telling your muscles to grow stronger. You're telling your bones to stay dense. You're telling your metabolism to stay active. And when you give your body the right food, lentils, vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, you're giving it the raw materials to respond to that message. That's lifestyle integration. Now let's talk about consistency. Too often people try something new for a week or two and then they give up. They'll say, it didn't work for me, or I didn't see results fast enough, but your body doesn't transform overnight. Sarcopenia didn't develop in 1 week, and it won't disappear in 1 week either. It takes time, patience, and steady effort. The beauty of lentils and simple movement routines is that they are sustainable. They're affordable, easy to prepare, and easy to do. There's no barrier stopping you except the decision to start and the discipline to continue. And let's remember, it's not just about muscles. A lifestyle that integrates protein-rich foods and movement benefits every part of your being. Your heart becomes stronger, your circulation improves, your digestion works better, your brain stays sharper, and your mood lifts. People often underestimate how much diet and exercise influence mental health. When your body feels nourished and strong, your mind feels calmer, clearer, and more positive. That's another reason lifestyle integration is so powerful. It doesn't just change your body, it changes your whole outlook on life. Now I want you to imagine something. Imagine you wake up in the morning and start your day with a short walk. You come home and enjoy a warm bowl of lentil soup packed with protein and fiber. Later in the day, you take a few minutes to do some resistance exercises, maybe squats, maybe lifting some light weights. For dinner, you prepare a lentil salad with fresh vegetables, olive oil, and herbs. You go to bed feeling light, energized, and satisfied. That's not a diet. That's not a temporary program. That's a lifestyle. And if you repeat that day after day, week after week, month after month, you are literally building the foundation for a strong, independent, and vibrant future. This is how we fight sarcopenia. Not with fear, not with extreme diets, not with gimmicks. We fight it with daily choices that are simple, sustainable, and effective. We fight it by integrating foods like lentils into our meals and integrating movement into our routines. Each decision builds upon the last, creating momentum that carries us forward. And let me be clear, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to exercise like an athlete or eat lentils 3 times a day. What matters is consistency and balance. If you eat lentils a few times each week, if you move your body daily, if you make mindful choices about what you put on your plate, you're doing more than most people ever will. Those small choices protect your muscles, protect your bones, and protect your independence. Also want you to remember the power of mindset. Too often people give up because they don't believe they can change, but you can. Your body is always listening, always responding, always ready to rebuild. Every meal is an opportunity. Every step is an opportunity. Every choice is an opportunity. And when you see it that way, health becomes less of a burden and more of a gift. So here's my challenge to you. Don't just think of lentils as food. Don't just think of exercise as a chore. See them as partners in your journey. See them as tools that allow you to live fully, to stay strong, to remain independent, and to enjoy the life you've been blessed with. That's lifestyle integration, not separate pieces, not quick fixes, but a complete picture where food, movement, and mindset all work together in harmony. Every day is a new chance to make that choice. Every day is a new chance to fight sarcopenia, to build muscle, and to protect your future. So choose wisely. Choose consistently. Choose with gratitude, and your body will reward you with strength, energy, and vitality for years to come.